Hi, Aries. Welcome to my reading. Welcome to this channel. My name is Katie, and this is Awaken Wild Child Tarot, where you get weekly readings for Aries and weekly readings for your other signs as well. So please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here for future readings. And let's begin right away with your first card here, which is Happiness is my birthright. I mean, yes, I agree 100%. So, Aries, this is going to be a week in which you can claim this birthright, right? Every day you can do that. But this week, and this is a reading that's a little bit ahead of time. This is a reading for the week that goes from the 15th to the 21st of December. So, you're going to get a little bit ahead of time so you can get ready in case of anything showing up that requires your attention. Happiness is my birthright. How often do we forget this? How common is it to feel instead that it's like our default setting is actually the opposite, right? Let's see what is showing up for you this week. But this card, to me, it's basically saying grab the joy from wherever you can get it. The little moments in your day to day that normally you would think as, mundane, or just like a means to an end, right? Like showering every morning or night, whatever. Or having your coffee in the morning, or your commute, your transportation, things that you kind of do because you have to, in a way. How can you infuse those little moments with joy? Maybe invest in a beautiful candle, or some nice soap, or a beautiful mug. Or maybe you don't invest at all if you don't like that, right? Or if it's not a right time for you. Maybe how can you infuse that with beautiful music, or meditation, or affirmations, or something that really makes your day more joyful? The thing is, it's so easy, but if we don't do it, we don't get that joy, And it is so easy for us to actually do the opposite and infuse our morning with like the news and like, you know, traffic with all sorts of ads. And, it can be kind of like feeding ourselves negativity as opposed to happiness. So claim your birthright. All right, so we have here your first card, which is the Seven of Pentacles. So this week may feel like you're on track, okay? You're making progress. You're doing what you need to do. You're seeing certain signs here and there that what you're doing is working. You're seeing the fruits of your labor, but not all the way just yet. You're starting to see them. You're starting to see things paying off, okay? You're starting to see, if you're trying to build a community or grow your social media, you're starting to see more views, more likes, more subscribers. If you're trying to get a job, you're starting to see more and more like letters, emails, proposals. If you're trying to lose weight or gain weight or whatever it may be, you're starting to see and feel the difference from the efforts that you've been doing. It's not like you're all the way there, but that's fine because you got to start somewhere, right? A journey of 1,000 steps begins what? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, right? We have the Knight of Wands being your challenge this week. Naturally, you are very passionate, Aries. Passionate, adventurous, irresistible is what I just heard. Beautiful, love that. The Knight of Wands tends to be larger than life, tends to be breathtaking. But at the same time, because of its own nature of being so breathtaking and unique and amazing, it's also like a little bit unreliable because it is a once in a lifetime thing, once in a lifetime connection, um, once in a lifetime opportunity. It has this like wow factor to it. I'll be right back, you guys. Sorry, one of my cats is trying to bully the other one. And the thing is, the one that gets bullied is like super old. And that's why every time that they get into like a little bit of a quarrel, I have to intervene. I want to intervene. Because I'm not gonna let no one bully my baby. My oldest baby. Anyway. So yeah, what I was saying is that this energy, I feel like it's like very loud and amazing. But then the challenge here is that you can't have loud and amazing and breathtaking and, once in a lifetime thing every day, right? It's like the whole I don't know if you've ever heard this. For me, it must be like the 5,000 time I've said this in YouTube, but I've been reading for Pisces for a really long time. So you may have not heard this. There are different kinds of love, romantic relationships. It is said that some feel like pepperoni pizza or your favorite meal, whatever that is. Um, and that it can be super delicious and incredible and amazing, but not something that you can have every day, right? So, I mean, you can't quite live off of pepperoni pizza if you want to be around for a while, I guess. Okay, the bully has been taken out of the room. Thank you for your patience. You can't have pepperoni pizza every single day and expect to be healthy. It's not sustainable. It is kind of like a treat, right? And sometimes romantic relationships feel that way. It's like you get to know someone that just blows you away. It's just like, oh my God, like this connection is just everything. And you may assume that because of its strength, because of how loud it is, because of how intense it is, that means it should be in your life forever. And that's often not the case. And it is said that instead we should look for oatmeal love or oatmeal romantic relationships, which is like maybe it is not that incredibly tasting. Maybe it's not like the most, I don't know, earth shattering of attractions, but it is something that is good for you. A connection with someone who sees you, respects you, loves you, supports you. And that you can have every day for the rest of your life, like oatmeal. And you can spice it up with different things and different seasons, right? And that's, I think, a reason why a lot of people are looking for oatmeal without realizing, and they continue to get into like pepperoni pizza relationships, and it's like feels so strong that they assume it's gonna be like that forever, and naturally they fizzle out because that's kind of what happens, right? And the oatmeal relationships, some people see as boring, right? Some people see as the good guy. He's very sweet. I'll just friend zone him, you know, when that can actually be something that can evolve into a beautiful relationship you can sustain yourself um, throughout a lifetime with. So, how does this translate to you? This week, I feel like you are craving like pepperoni pizza intensity success, but you're getting oatmeal intensity success. It's like you're doing everything that you need to do. You're seeing the progress. It is gradual. It is in divine timing. It is little bit by little bit. But maybe you think that because it's not pepperoni pizza or whatever, that maybe it's not working or that maybe it's never going to work. And Spirit wants you to know that you are exactly where you need to be. Aries, you are making progress. You're making and creating something in your life that is sustainable, that is good for you. And that is way more powerful than, some emotions that come and go. And oftentimes come and go without explanation or, any kind of, subtitles sometimes. Passionate, intense things often feel incredible and exciting, but they're rarely ever what we think they are. They usually reveal something different. So, what I see here for your week is that you are ready to cultivate oatmeal friendships, oatmeal connections, oatmeal success, oatmeal progress, things that are sustainable. And that doesn't mean that they have to feel boring to you. Happiness is your birthright. You can make those things good. I mean, they are good. You can make those things like exciting, is what I mean. Okay? At the beginning of the week, you're surrounded by people who see your worth, who see you as you are, who see your beauty, who want to treat you well, respect you, who are honest. In the middle of the week, something may happen here that can cause you to feel a little bit of the contrast. Maybe you're gonna be like, oh, see, that couple is having a very, very, very pepperoni karmic chaotic relationship. And this other couple is having the opposite. And like, you're gonna be able to like take this into the week if you want to. And kind of like see it in action, right? And that is going to trigger a lot of your emotional maturity. You're gonna start to wonder, like, why does it feel so good though? To somehow be in this like chaotic sea of waves and can I be happy with just being in a very serene lake? You're gonna really think about this, it seems. Look at that. With the Page of Cups here, this is a week in which you can have access to emotional healing. I see many of you going into like YouTube and maybe looking up like coaching videos or um, manifestation videos talking about like how to crave what is really good for you, as opposed to have that temptation or that craving often for things that are not good for you. And I think you're going to learn a lot about yourself if you allow it this week. I see that you have so much passion for something new. There is a new path, a new chapter. Maybe for some of you, it's a new business. For others of you, it's a new project. For others of you, it's a new hobby. But there is something here that very soon you're not going to be able to put down. Like a good book, like a new hobby for an ADHD person. It's going to be that shiny object. And some of those they stay. Some of those they just are there for a season. But I feel like there is something here that is going to grow on you, something that you're going to find very valuable in your life. And we have next to it the Ace of Pentacles. You may be able to monetize that new love, that new passion for something. But you may be feeling a little bit scared to do so, okay? You're not even scared to do so. You're actually scared of failing, and oftentimes even scared of everything that will shift, everything that will move and change, even if you succeed at it. The Eight of Swords, this card here, is talking about self-imposed limitation. How sometimes we're perfectly capable of doing something, but because we heard at some point in our childhood that we weren't the brightest, or that we weren't the prettiest, or that we weren't this or that, it's like that kind of lingers on, and then it prevents us from even trying. So how could you know? How could you know if you're not trying, basically? See how in this card, she's in a cage, and she's suffering, she's crying, but the cage is open. And it's the same here for you, Aries. It's like you can cry over what you think you cannot do, or you can try and go ahead and do it. Find a way to make it happen. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Cups. Beautiful. For some of you, this is going to be a week in which your shift in perspective is the miracle. You seeing things with this pepperoni pizza or oatmeal concept is going to make you realize that maybe your best friend forever could be your potential love of your life. Things that maybe you didn't think were available for you, all of a sudden, with a shift in perspective, are available to you. And this doesn't have to be necessarily about love and romance. For others of you, this could be about your job. Some of you may be like, this job is too boring to be my career. But then you realize, you know what? I actually do like this enough to maybe if I sprinkle a little bit of joy here and there, if I sprinkle a little bit of adventure here and there, maybe I can make it exciting enough and I can stay doing this forever, I don't know. I feel like the miracle this week is your shift in perspective, as they say. And with the Wheel of Fortune, I see that it's like one shift moves one of the gears. One thought changes the direction of the gears, and then they all start to shift and change and move. And what felt so familiar to you now feels super exciting, super brand new, feels electric. I love this. I love this, Aries, for you, because I feel like you're gonna realize that you've had what you wanted all all the time. Like you've had it all along. But you needed that shift in perspective. Let's see what the angel number is here for you. We have 1111, intuition, trusting yourself. Your inner whispered, sorry, your inner whisper is working hard to let you know that it is guiding you. Listen in. What is it saying? Feel it. Where is it telling you to go next? See it. Close your eyes and allow. Trust the path that you're on. The affirmation in this card is my intuition speaks to me and I listen. I trust that all things are happening for a purpose. I feel like you're going to be at the right place at the right time this week. I feel like you're going to be able to notice that this week as well. Because sometimes we are in the right place at the right time, but we don't realize until later. So, an emotion that could be present this week that you may need to deal with, positive or negative. Aw, it's an energy of hope. I love that for you, Aries. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Comment hope below. Hope, hope, hope. You're gonna feel hopeful that there's a shift that is actually changing things. Not just the potential that maybe one day something will, but I see hope in you that you can make this better, whatever it is that you're dealing with. For love and romance, we have here true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. True and lasting love is here for you. Look at that, 10 of cups. And look at this, 2 of cups. Look at that. That's beautiful. Some of you may be in a relationship or in a connection with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio person, or you could be going into a relationship, like making it happen now. But the 10 of cups is happily ever after. You know, this card is basically everything you've ever hoped for. So something massive is happening this week that is aligning you with that. And it comes from within, and that's what matters most. All right, Aries, last but not least, if you stuck around all the way to this point of the reading, thank you so much for being here. This is my favorite part of the reading, which is when I get an animal spirit card. And for Aries this week, we got, oh my god, the dragon. Beautiful. So let's see what that is about. I like to read this deck, partly because I don't know anything by memory like that. It's like every deck is a world, right? And this deck, it has very specific messages, and I rather bring this message as it is for you so you can really have the most of it, other than to just tell you whatever comes to mind for this card in particular. So here we go. Seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror, deep into our eyes, we may even see a glimpse of the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon, breathing transformational fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride, and as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their Agni is dim. Agni is described as the inner fire or sacred intelligence. May even just the mention of the dragon steer the embers of intelligence within you. Aw, love that. And this is a card that is associated with the third chakra. The subtle energy of the dragon lives at the navel center, in the Manipura chakra. Manipura translates to the city of hidden gems, and behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation and digestion. The sages believe health of the fire at the navel center is what governs our ability to clearly see both the inner and outer dimensions. I think something is shifting here, and you're going to be able to clearly see something that maybe you just weren't able to see, and now it changes everything for the better. So I hope you enjoy this week, Aries. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. I hope that this place is providing you, these readings are providing you with the guidance that you need. I'm going to be posting a reading for Aries every single week. So that will be on Monday mornings. Yeah. And I hope that, you check out your Monday morning weekly readings. I love you, Aries. Bye. Thank you for watching.